So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the balancing patch notes that are actually going to be coming to the game very, very soon. Click the link down in the description to Instant Gaming to get yourself some amazing discounts on some amazing games. So what is going on, guys? My name is Zero and welcome back to some more Battle for Neighborville here today on the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at some of the patch notes. We don't have the full patch notes list, however, we do have the patch notes based on the character balancing, or at least some of the character balancing. So I wanted to make a video for you guys just because it is a pretty important update. And we're actually going to be getting this patch tomorrow because Sean Laker did tweet out saying that the patch notes were going to be released today. At the time of recording this, we haven't got the full patch notes, but we have got the character balancing. But the actual patch is going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, at 11 AM Pacific time. And he does go on to say that this is the November patch. It's just coming a little bit sooner, which is very interesting. He also goes on to say that there's a significant change to fix the aim assist, and they'll be looking to deploy that as soon as possible. It won't require a full patch, but they'll talk about it on the live stream later this week, which I believe is on Halloween. Now, I do also want to let you know that we do have some information regarding some other things as well. I will let you all know that tomorrow in a News for Neighborville video. I wasn't able to get a video out on Sunday because I had issues with my computer not recording things, so everything's up and running now. We should be able to get a News for Neighborville out tomorrow, so make sure you guys do stay tuned for that. And if you guys do want to go check out some of these patch notes yourself, I will leave a link down in the description. These are just some patch notes which were put on an answers page on EA from one of the developers, and when we get the full patch notes, I will let you guys know that as well. So this was done by Mario, who I think has actually been on the Plants vs. Zombies live streams before. He says, here is a closer look at some of the new gameplay you'll be experiencing with the upcoming patch. So first off, we're going to take a look at damage and mobility. So they've updated the logic, so instead of waiting for the next jump, there's an extended period of time where all jumps are reduced in height. So basically, if you jump, the next jump, or the next few jumps for a certain period of time, you're not going to be able to jump as high, which is going to obviously fix some of those jumping and running away issues. They've also said that the sprint speed is now reduced after taking damage, so if you take damage, you're not going to be able to run as quickly. They've also changed the in-air movement speed. It's now reduced after taking damage, so if you're running and you're in mid-air and you take damage, you're going to be slowed down in mid-air, and this also does include goatified zombies as well. So that right there is going to be fixing a lot of the issues that we've had in the game, where you're trying to shoot someone and they just run away and jump, and it's a real pain. So hopefully this is going to sort those issues. We also get something which is called Explosion Shockwave, where they've updated travel time of shockwave damage to better match the visual effect explosion growth. So the characters are the Acorn Saptrap, the Ochre Super Saptrap, the Pea Shooter's Pea Cannon, and the 80s Action Heroes Fully Charged Shot. It says some of our damage events weren't matched to our visual effects. This was a minor quality of life fix that makes things feel better. So I think that might have been the damage indicators. Sometimes the damage wasn't actually correct to what the numbers were showing. I think that's what it is. Now we're going to move on to the XP event assist as a Vanquish. Now this is interesting because I didn't know this. They say that they've reduced the damage requirement from 9/10 of a victim's health to 2/3 of a victim's health. So basically, if you didn't do 9/10 of a character's full damage, you'd only get an assist. They've reduced that to 2/3. So let's say, for example, you're going up against a Sunflower. You could deal 90 damage to that Sunflower before this patch, and then someone else could finish them off. You'll get a shared Vanquish. If you got less than 90 damage, you'd get an assist. But the fact that they're changing it to 2/3 means that you only need to do about 66 damage now, so that percentage has definitely dropped a lot. So you should be able to get yourself a lot more shared Vanquishes in the games and a lot less assists. Now we're going to move over to some of the character balancing. With the Chomper, they've changed the Grotty Goop. The ability now shows active state while gas is effective. I don't know what that means properly. And with the Spikeweed, there's an additional check to guarantee a victim is within proper range before being trapped. So I think that's something where the game's going to check to make sure, like an extra check to make sure that that character is in the Spikeweed before they get trapped. There has been a change to Nightcap as well. They've upgraded the Fleet-Footed. I don't know if that's a character upgrade or not. It says they fixed the issue with not being able to jump, and the description to this says, the previous rebalancing of Fung Fu unintentionally limited some gameplay. This properly fixes the issue so Nightcap can remain mobile as intended. Sorry about that. With the Snapdragon, they have changed the flamethrower. They've improved the projectile size and trajectory. With the flare ball, they've reduced the heat value per shot from 0.24 to 0.18, and they've changed the camera of the swoop slam so it should be a little bit easier to aim. The Cactus has had quite a few changes as well. Now, I think one of the main changes they've done is they've changed one of the upgrades for the Cactus. It was called Alacrity, I think it was called. Now, it used to cost 3 points. It's now only going to cost 2 points. So that's the first time that an upgrade is actually going to change in point value, which is very interesting. The duration has been reduced from 5 to 2. I don't actually know what this upgrade is, so I don't know what that means. And the charge multiplier is reduced from 10 times to 3 times. They've also changed another upgrade, which is sustenance. They fixed an issue with not checking that the Garlic drone was alive to apply the upgrade. And with Spud Spotting upgrade, they fixed an issue with spotting not being removed properly. With Citron, they have changed the peel shield as well. They've increased the based ammo game from blocking from 7 to 10. Sprint will now cancel the shield. Movement speed modifier is reduced from 0.7 to 0.8. And bringing up the shield, it can interrupt reloading. The Juice Cannon has a muzzle flash damage from 0 to 2.55. And the Spin Dash no longer stops the sprint. Rose has had a few changes as well. Thank you. So, the first thing for Rose is with the Magic Thistles. The maintain lock time is increased from 0.1 to 0.2. The acquired lock angle is decreased from 1.65 to 2.5. The lock distance increase is from 38 to 45, so I think you should be able to lock on from further away. And the turn angle increased based off distance from target. With Arcane Enigma, the super zoomy speed ability, you cannot cancel the ability until at least 1 second has elapsed. I think that's to fix a little bug in the game where you could instantly call in the Arcane Enigma and then you would get brought out of it straight away. You might have accidentally pressed that ability twice, so the fact that you have to be in it for at least a second is going to help that. Magic Thistles will also reload on activate, so as soon as you use Arcane Enigma and you come out of it, you're going to be fully reloaded with your Magic Thistles. And the Rollout XP has been increased, so you get more XP when you're using Arcane Enigma as well. With the Jinx ability, the duration has been increased from 8 to 9. I think the damage multiplier increase has gone up from 3 to 3.25, and the switch back to primary has been decreased from 0.7 to 0.2. So as soon as you use Jinx, you can get back in there and shoot them with your primary weapon much quicker. And the same thing with Gotify. You can switch back to your primary from, instead of being 0.4 seconds, it's now 0.2. With a couple of upgrades as well, the lock and loaded upgrade, the range modifier has been increased from 1.3 times to 1.5 times, and the Thistle Missile upgrade, the projectile speed modifier has gone from 3.5 times to 5 times. So I'm interested to try some of those upgrades and see exactly how much Rose is going to change. They've made a change with the Soldier's Super Sting Cloud to adjust the spawn location and trajectory to give better aligned with the center screen. With the Imp as well, the Imp's had a couple of good changes as well. I don't know if this is going to be too much, and you're going to see a lot more mechs on this field, but basically, the initial time when you spawn into a game with the mech, with the Imp, should I say, it used to be 120 seconds, it's now 60 seconds. And then after you have used your Imp, and you've used the mech, and then you usually would have that cooldown again, that has been reduced from 120 seconds to 90 seconds. You're going to see a lot more mechs in the game, that's for sure. Initially, a mech can come in a whole minute sooner, and then it can come in 30 seconds sooner after he's used that initial mech. And using the upgrade, which allows you to get your mech even quicker, is going to make that mech even more frequent. So we'll have to see exactly how that's going to perform. Now we're moving over to Super Brains, which yes. Super Brains has had some significant nerfs. He's had a little buff in his punches, but he's had huge nerfs in his kind of like Ultra Flying Fist, which is his charge-up attack. They've reduced his damage quite significantly over them all. So his small damage used to do 37, it now does 25. His medium used to do 54, it now does 40.8. And his large attack used to do 80, it now does 70. They've also reduced the size of the projectiles as well, so I think it's going to be a bit more difficult to hit them. And they've also reduced the lifetime of projectiles to reduce the distance. Now when it comes to the Heroic Fist, which is his punches, they've decreased a speed penalty when punching, so you should be able to punch a little bit quicker, and they've also adjusted the hitbox size to the punches, so they've made them a little bit bigger, so I think it should be a little bit easier to hit the plants with the punches. I have noticed myself, it seems like you're right next to them punching them and it doesn't do any damage. So I'm kind of glad that they have adjusted the hitboxes. But yeah, the Ultra Flying Fist was the biggest issue, and that has been nerfed dramatically. The Scientist has had an upgrade to the Dolphin Blaster. They fixed an issue where the improper stacking of fire rate multiplier was equipped, and they've also fixed an issue with the lifetime of active states not resetting on a Vanquish. And then finally, for the Engineer, they have fixed an issue with the Bullhorn Swarm, where the incorrect stun amount was being added for your additional horns hitting after you've been hit by the first Bullhorn. So basically, you used to get stunned a lot more than you should have done. So that is something that has been fixed, which was probably one of the biggest issues for the Engineer. And those are all of the character balancing changes that we do know of so far, which is very, very interesting. So let me know what you think about these in the comment section down below. I'm really interested to take a look at the damage and mobility changes. I'm also interested to take a look at what Sean said, where there's going to be a significant change to the aim assist. So that is something which I'm interested to take a look at, and hopefully it's going to feel a lot better than it was. And there's a lot of character balancing changes in there which sound pretty good. So that is the character balancing changes which will be coming tomorrow. I'm sure we're going to get some more balancing changes as well, things like bug fixes and stuff like that. So when we get the full patch notes, if we do get them later today, I will let you know. But nonetheless, hopefully guys did enjoy today's video. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Zero, and I will catch you all in another video.